I'll be stroking. That's what I be doing. I'm stroking. That's what I be doing. I stroke it to the east. I stroke it to the west. I stroke it to the black voting block that I love the best. I be stroking. That's what I be doing. That's the Democratic Party, what they sing to black folks every 2 and 4 years. And that's what they do to black folks every 2 to 4 years. They be stroking. That's what they be doing. Now they're back for their every 2 year, every 4 year stroking of black people, black voters. And by the way, this is your man Rico the Opinionist. Y'all please like, share, and subscribe. And it's almost not even worth sometimes it's not even worth talking about this whole Ike and Tina Turner, David Ruffin and Tammy Terrell relationship that black people have with the Democratic Party. Not even worth it. But I guess people are talking about it, so I guess I'll contribute to it. It's this Rogers, what's up? Look, it's so interesting that it actually goes down like this every year. Democratic Party finds some kind of lame issue to get black voters riled up. Then they trick them out of their votes. And then they ignore them for the next 2 years or 3 years. It happens every year. And I'm like, damn. I mean, just like clockwork. So, right, okay. 2020. You better vote. Better make sure you vote. You don't want Trump to get in there. No more. You better vote. You got to get this old Civil War Southern Confederate by way of Delaware. Who said you ain't black if you don't know to vote for him. Got to get him in because he's better than Trump. So black folks, led by black women, of course. Black women voted like 97%. Black men voted 89 to 92% or 91 to 93. Because they're pretty much following black women. You know what Tiffany Cross told black men to do? Y'all need to fall in line with black women. And y'all better get on board with what they talking about. So, that was almost like my Sha'Carri Richardson. Y'all better get behind black women and vote like they vote. And by the way, I love you, Sha'Carri. No, I'm just saying, that's just how you sound every time you sound like you're trying to catch your breath. Look, the latest thing that's going on now is Kamala Harris. She's doing a black college tour. And of course, I'm sure they're strictly organized. They're not going to come out and talk to black people. So they're going to go to the black colleges. A few of them, the same old usual, Spelman, Morehouse, blah, blah, blah. They always, and yeah, she's going to end up at Howard, because she still claims them when she needs some blackness. But not claiming them when their dorms are flooding and they needed new dorms. It's interesting. I ain't hear her say anything during that time. So, I think she was just at Spelman or Clark, one of them, and want to talk about Ron DeSantis. Who gives a shit about what they're doing in Florida? They're trying to take your rights. They all talk that whiny ass voice because they know they're lying. There's nothing black about a lot of these Negro politicians, Negro Democrats. He's trying to roll back the hands of time. He's trying to take away your history. Okay? So what is wrong with this broad? Why does she talk like that? Because, she lying. Then, of course, got to break out in this weird-ass hysterical laughter. Okay. And we supposed to think that's a high IQ? Please. So anyway, she's there. She smoothed them and charmed them over there at that school. So she probably go to pretty much any HBCU because HBCUs are pretty much Democratic, gardens for raising other Democrats and feminists and LGBTs. They're not the same HBCUs as when I was there in the 90s. Because somebody we didn't like as a politician, we got on their ass. We asked them the real hard questions. And yeah, there were people who gave us pushback. No, Bill Clinton is for black people. No, he isn't. That race. We got on. Hey, we were different HBCUs back then. But these HBCUs now, they're not very politically astute. All they care about are wonderful speeches, and they're still impressed because people come to their school. You know how black people do politicians in general? Politician is not doing a daggum thing for your neighborhood, but black Democrats love to say, they go to my church. He came to our high school. That's all they have to do is make appearances, and black people take that as doing something tangible. Now, but I can say this, there was a video going around, this young sister and this older black woman, they were meeting with the current chairman of the Democratic National Committee or Convention. His name is Jamie. That right there should let you know some man named Jamie. Well, not bad. Jamie's not bad. I'm just saying him. And she got on his ass and told him, y'all not doing anything for black people. And y'all students need to pay attention. Everything the Democratic Party has done is done for Ukraine, for LGBT, anti-Asian crime bill, the illegal immigrants. That's all Democrats. That's all y'all do for them. But then y'all got on his ass, and he got up and walked out of that meeting. And that's how black people need to be approaching these black Democrats. And I say this because we've been told since we were in Pampers, the Democratic Party is for black people. And so, but this is for anyone who say, well, what about Republicans? Well, we're never told the Republicans were our friends. We're never told that Republican Party was for black people. So we're always told, you vote Democrat, but they're for black people. Then the older blacks will say, no, because they love to help poor people too now. That kind of shit. Black and poor are always synonymous for some reason. Even if the poor is white, poor whites and blacks. They're like, why the fuck we got to be connected to poor people all the time? I ain't never like that. But yeah, so Kamala Harris, it's interesting that she'll come there and want to talk about Ron DeSantis and all the racism and Republican, and she'll travel all over the world. No, not all over the world, just to African countries where black people are, to try to push homosexuality or threaten them with sanctions if they don't accept homosexuality. But we can't get her to fight for anything for black people. Y'all understand? And it's not me just talking. All you got to do is take the cotton out your ear, or take the blinders off and cotton out your ears. It's the truth. And so, that's, and every year, they don't even change up the playbook. They do the same thing every year. They've tried out a rapper. Then got Quavo up in the White House talking to, who there? Was he talking to Kamala? They got her out there. I guess she's doing the black department of the White House. Got her out there talking to Quavo of the Migos, talking about some goddamn gun control. When all he talks about in their music is talking about pills, shooting pistols, bitches and niggas. I got his ass up there talking about some gun control. Quavo, get out of here. Last time they had that little ignorant who wasn't even black. They had Cardi B up there. And I've never seen any outrage of the disrespect. So you think so lowly of the black intellect or black women, because that's what they always praise. Well, I think black women, they're the backbone of the Democratic Party. You think so lowly of black women's intellect that you won't even bring an actual scholar or even come to us with, come to the real black folks to have these real conversations. You're sending out these little bought off, paid off ass, broke ass, intellectually broke ass celebrity, a rapper. That's what you bring. But when they go to white folks, you think they bring a country singer to come to Republican white folks? You think they bring an entertainer to Hispanics? No, they come there with their sleeves rolled up, ready to answer some hard questions. We're the only ones want to be entertained. We've been suckered into being entertained. That's how the Democratic Party thinks about black folks. They have that benign neglect. They understand it. You can promise them whatever, but you never do anything specifically for blacks. Kamala Harris even said it out loud. Y'all can go on YouTube and find the video. For black people, For black people? No, I'm not going to do anything specifically for black people. She said it, bitch. And y'all still voted for it. You black chicks still called us sister. I don't tell. It's all right now. It's okay. I shake my head. So now they're trotting out the rappers. Because they know if they come to a real area and real black folks know the issues, are going to tear their ass up. So they try to stem with the young college kids. A lot of them have been kind of deprogrammed out of blackness. Black consciousness is not really deep at these black colleges. But their version of black consciousness is Black Lives Matter, lesbian stuff, and feminist crap. It's not the real stuff. It's not Dr. John Henry Clark. It's not Dr. Francis Cress Wells. It's not Neely Fuller. It's not Dr. Julia Hare. It's not Dr. Ben Yakahan and Brother Aswa Kwesi. It's not that kind of black consciousness. It's not Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. It's not Brother Dr. Anthony Broder. It's not that kind of black consciousness anymore. It's this feminist and sexism and misogyny and sexism and misogyny, transphobia, there's that crap now on these black colleges and universities. And I guess that's why they encourage more women to go to college than men. And as long as they're not a man with a voice, he's okay to be there. Hold on a second, y'all. I'm gonna try to. No, this truck can't stop. I'm gonna wait a minute. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Ooh, wait a minute. I'm finna run, y'all. Okay. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna do it again. Okay. Hold on. Let me get across the street, y'all. And so, having said that, so they go to the easy place. These black Democrats, even the vice president, they go to the easy places where they won't get any pushback. Even in the cities, even if you try to give a pushback, these little lame-ass Democrats, you'll have some people there becoming upset with you because you dare to ask them the real questions. And so that's what's going on again, y'all. They trot out these celebrities to talk to you because, you know what, and we're not talking about it enough in our community, how black Democrats, or the numbers are showing that black people are falling away from the Democratic Party. First it started with black men, and those numbers are increasing. Shout out to black men who are waking up, who finally understand that the Democratic Party is not for heterosexual masculine black men who are into mother, father, and child. They are not into that. That's not the Democratic Party. Now, I'm not suggesting where they're going or where they should go. Yeah, they might just say, you know what, I don't give a damn. I don't vote for anybody else. I know I'm not voting Democrat. And they're panicking. But y'all not even paying attention, are you? I always say that black people, we don't listen to our scholars. Our scholars have been here 100 years. They've lived and they've died. Some of them died on natural causes. Some of them been murdered. Trying to teach black people about what true racism and white supremacy is. Malcolm X's speech about the Democrat, the moderate, and the Republican. It still reigns true, but some of you are so educated or you're so beyond race. But Malcolm X, if I didn't know any better, I swear he was God. Come on, somebody. Whew. He has a book called Malcolm X's speeches, his speeches on white supremacy. I have that book. And I read that book. I said, that dude was out of sight. That dude was awesome. And so, a lot of us don't read anymore. We want to blame it on technology. We know you got social media and all that, but there's nothing can beat a good book. And then these lectures, these people that I mentioned, they're on YouTube. You're going to hear their speeches. It makes no sense for us to be falling behind worse with all this technology than we did when technology didn't exist. We read books. How you think those people that we laud today were so articulate and so smart? They read books. Most of them that we admire, they wrote the books. But somehow when it comes to politics, we act like we've never read a book. And we act like we don't even have vision when we see what's going on. So this is what's going on. Y'all ready for this? And I'm not going to hold y'all long. I got some running and walking to do. See, y'all know it's all about politics, right? And it's not even really about Republican and Democrat. Because one thing about Republicans, They understand they don't need no black votes in order for them to win any offices. Depends on certain districts, but for the most part, they don't need it because America is 70% Caucasian. 65 to 70% Caucasian. Even your so-called liberal whites will switch on your ass. You wouldn't know because you're looking at a white person. You don't know what they're going to do. They probably talk all that little liberal shit, but they understand their money. A lot of them understand, I want to keep my family intact. So I'm not going to vote for these policies that'll knock my child out because they want a little boy that want to be a girl in that spot. Nope, we're not doing that. But for the most part, a bunch of liberal policies that black people, mainly black female-headed households, are falling for. But I can always be proven wrong. You ain't got to take it from me. You hear me? So, Dr. Claude Anderson spoke about this. Dr. John Henry Clark, I probably hit on it some in the 70s. They've always spoken on the replacement class for blacks. Do y'all think it was by accident that they made sure that they cheated Trump out of the election? Yeah, I said it. Because they had, what we're going through now is what they needed to be done. And Donald Trump wasn't about that. This is not a promo for Donald Trump. I'm telling y'all what's going on. Y'all see, immigrants, illegal, they don't have to go through the 6 month to a year process to become legalized citizens anymore. Because if y'all didn't pay attention, everybody's coming through the border, southern borders, Texas and beyond, even California borders. They don't look like you, black folks. They look like other people. And that's the main reason you have such a huge influx of them just coming over. Yeah, they're playing like they complaining about it, but they're not. As soon as they get over, shout out to Chicago and New York. Shout out as soon as they get over the very resources that you were screaming about in the same local government, they're shelling out billions of dollars to make sure they accommodate these illegal aliens. But you've been there in that same neighborhood for decades and can't get $50. But they shelling out $20 million to make sure they're renovating schools, churches, hotels that you couldn't afford to get in, but they living in off of your tax dollars. That's what's going on. Because the Democrats know that their policies are playing out with black people. And so they're bringing in a replacement class. Now, I'm telling y'all what y'all should have heard when Dr. John Henry Clark said it, and when Dr. Claude Anderson, he's still talking about, that man about to be 90 years old, still trying to teach us about this easy shit. And so, that's what they're doing. And they ain't gonna need you. That's why they don't come to you. They go to everybody except for black folks. Now, if a room full of black women, well, they'll be fine. The policies benefit single mothers and black chicks, and women and minority, people of color. They even stop even referring to us as black. And we're buying into the bullshit. No, it's not people of color. It's black people. People of color are the people who they gave all the right, the extra shit to. Asians, Ukrainians, who else? Hispanics. Those are people of color. But we're black people. And benign neglect says you don't ever do anything. Look up the word benign neglect. You don't ever do anything specifically for black folks, not just in the White House, not just in the state, but in your local government. Even your black Democratic, your black politicians understand benign neglect. Wherever you live, if your representative is black and even Democrat, go look at your neighborhood and tell me if it's not a shithole. Tell me if the funding is low. Tell me if the school system is not teaching your kids. Let me know about all the drugs and the crime. Look, just go ahead and tell me. Because back in the day, it used to be like, man, the Republican district, man, they starved out. No. You start getting these black representatives, that's when shit started really getting worse. It was already bad. You think by putting that black face in that city council seat or that state representative seat, they're going to get up there and fight for reparations and black rights. You know what they do? They go up there and talk about LGBT rights, migrant, illegal aliens, and my favorite, gun control. We need sensible gun control. And we know that guns don't kill people, people kill people. But instead of talking about economics and reparations for black people, your black representative love to talk about everything else. And those people don't have to wait years and centuries in the return of Jesus to get one piece of legislation that protects them or empowers them. They get it right away. When Biden was elected, the first 2 weeks, he signed so many executive orders for everybody else, and we stood there looking stupid. Well, not me, because I didn't vote for the son of a bitch. But you Biden bots, you Biden sexuals, Bidenites, y'all stood there looking stupid and didn't say a word about it. That's the problem I have with you black Democrats. Y'all see this man just shoving penis all in your body. No Vaseline, and out of stubbornness, and to not make people like me seem like I'm right, y'all don't say shit. Now, what kind of sense does that make? Yeah, I'm calling you out. Because if it's something about Trump or DeSantis or any, what y'all think is a Republican or white, y'all don't close your mouths. But when you see the dirt that this racist who was friends with Strom Thurmond to create the first crime bill in 1984, a racist, a avowed member of the KKK, that was Biden's best boy, his friend, his mentor. He spoke at his funeral. One of the royal cyclops of the KKK. Biden did the eulogy. He even told y'all, if you don't know to vote for him, you trying to vote for Trump, you ain't black. And you motherfuckers like y'all say, here you go, here's my vote. I knows I was black. You got me that time. It's awful. And I'm throwing a little humor in here, but it's sick. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? And so here they go. They don't even try a new strategy. They're not even making promises this time. Did y'all know the Democrats don't even make promises when they come around you? All they do is tell out, it's racism in America. They trying to stop your voting rights. Ooh, DeSantis is taking away African-American history. Now, what the fuck that got to do with you promising to bring an economic empowerment to my district? Nothing. They don't ever talk about bringing money. Keep in mind, money is what makes the world go round. Not promises, not great slogans. Money. For those of you, and I'm going to give you a prime example. Those of you who've done well on your jobs, you went to college, you created a successful business, and you moved out of your Democratic ghetto. You moved to the suburb of where you live. You know what the suburbs are. Let's say if you're in Dallas, you got Frisco, you got Plano, Garland, Allen, you got all this, McKinney. You move to that. Those are Republican districts. You move out. That's how I know you know the difference. But instead of, even in the comfort of your beautiful suburb, and say, hey, how come my old neighborhood don't look like this? Y'all don't. You come back and you tell those folks who living in that Democratic ghetto to keep voting Democrat. And a Democrat, whenever they come around, don't ever talk about was, if I'm elected, I'm going to work my hardest on the city council for my district. Because I can actually look for my district. I'll make sure we get at least $50 to $100 million in at least 2 years, first 2 years I'm in office. Because we need that money. We got these boarded up buildings. The schools are falling apart. And crime is up. Drug use is up. Mental illness is running wild. Those are the kind of promises you should make them make to you. And then when they don't do it, you get on their ass when you see them at Walmart or Kroger or out to dinner with their family. Get on them. That's how you keep politicians in check. But black Democrats don't do that. Don't do that. Y'all sit there and let these folks run all over you. Then you want to get mad when somebody say, man, why the fuck y'all vote Democrat? But first of all, then you go down to your little tirade. Doesn't make any sense. And I'm not rooting for anybody. I'm just rooting for common sense and good mental health. And this broad walking around all the schools, and if anybody dare try to challenge her, of course, I'm talking about Kamala Harris, they're going to be viewed as a villain and might even be assaulted. So that's what's going on now. And they're replacing you with these Hispanics. But let me tell y'all something else that y'all act like y'all did not see. Or maybe we're so traumatized that when violence happens to us, we just sit there and stare. Like the slaves had to do when they were punishing a rebellious slave. Tie the ends of both legs to a horse on each side and hit the horse on the ass so they can make sure they split the slave in half. Or they beat them in front of the slave. That same trauma is there. Shout out to Dr. Joy Leary's book, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, that talks about that. And we do. We see violence happen to us, like we become numb to it. We don't know how to react to it. And that is violence towards us. When you purposely do things in our face we know is racist and discriminatory, and millions of black folks just kind of stand there and watch it. You have a few thousand may react to it, but millions of blacks don't react to it. It's the weirdest thing. Y'all gonna act like y'all didn't pay attention. Then at that southern border, well, it was 3,000 Mexicans there and Venezuelans. Let me tell y'all something else that just happened too after I say this. And we're not paying attention. I guess they don't show this on the network where they're playing P-Valley. I guess, or on BET. They don't show this on those networks. So I guess that's where a lot of black folks are, since you probably act like you didn't see this. But they always have thousands of Mexicans and Venezuelans and El Salvadorians and all those non-black folks at the border. And somehow 100,000 plus have been able to come across the border. But those 4 days that they had those 10,000 or 5,000 to 7,000 Haitians who came from a war-torn country. Now this time a damn earthquake has shook the goddamn island apart. I had no idea that the administration or the White House could airlift 5,000 to 7,000 people away from the border back to their country within a day. Did y'all see that? But then they're pretending they don't know how to stop the Mexicans from coming over. I mean, illegals. The illegals. They're pretending because the Democratic Party needed the White House and these other seats so they can pretend to be mad about it, but they're opening up the borders. This was said way before Trump was elected, way before Biden. They already had this plan because they could see 10, 20 years down the road, well, we're going to be losing this voting population, so we got to get our replacement group in. And did y'all hear recently, I think 250,000 or 500,000 Venezuelans were just given automatic citizenship without having to go through anything? Did y'all see that? They did show that on network where they show power. Y'all didn't see that on Stars where they show P-Valley? Y'all didn't see that? Okay. Well, and other stations and other news and other parts of social media, that's why I saw it. Man, come on. Black people, we're just asleep at the wheel. Too many of us are asleep at the wheel. And so, y'all, stay tuned. When a Democrat, Kamala Harris or one of them gonna make a stop near you. And shame on you if you don't bring up all the stuff they done for everybody else, but you coming for us for the votes. And number two, attack them on why you always bringing out celebrities to talk to us. Like we're a bunch of 16-year-olds. But you don't do that to other groups. Asians don't even hardly vote. But they got them anti-Asian hate crime bill. One incident. They want to lie like a black dude did. It was a white man who went there and shot up all them me love you long time massaging Asian chicks in it. Come on, man. But I digress. I'll try to get my run on. I'll talk to y'all later. It's your man Rico the Opinionist. Y'all like, share, and subscribe, all right? We'll talk later. Peace. Let's see where we are.